how much did you know about Mother Cabrini, either one of you or both of you, when you first heard about this project?
I didn't know much about her before. I just knew who she was, heard her name, but knew very little. I only found out about her legacy as well, and how the great things she did while I was researching the role. And yeah, the more I
Yeah,
studied,
it's the
the more.
same. Cabrini, we hear the name Cabrini because of the universities or hospital institutions. We associate them with institutions, but the actual woman, I knew little about it. And so reading the script for the first time, fascinating to get to know, who she was and the effect she had on the world.
What kind of research did you do, Christiana, into her? Obviously, it was so long ago, there's no film or TV or anything like that to really see her. I mean, did you do a lot of reading about her or just to find out more about her? Or...
Very much so, and I'm very much a nerd, so I read a lot, and I came across a collection of letters that actually she exchanged with the Archbishop. Um, so that kind of gave me an idea of what sort of woman she was and how she presented herself to a man of an institution as well. It was a very specific case, but
Yeah.
it kind of gave me some insight into her being. But then, I read a lot, researched for a long time, and then I just let my imagination do the rest of the work.
David, did you have to do a lot of research for the Archbishop, or was it just fine getting that great costume and you could get right into it?
Well, I'll tell you, the costume was really helpful. Yeah, yeah. I feel like that can do a lot of acting for you, putting that thing on. There wasn't a lot for me to read. I didn't actually know about those letters until after we did this. I would like to have seen those, but everything I could find, I read. Um, and that's always helpful. It's a good place to start from. And like Christiana says, our imaginations take over from there. But also the script. Rod wrote a terrific script, and there is the journey that this man takes. So really, it's reading as much as I can, and then just delivering myself to who he was at the beginning of that. And let's see where it goes.
Yeah, Krishani, I'm pretty familiar with your Italian work, at least some of the, Gomorrah and things like that.
Yeah.
Is Alejandro the first non-Italian director you've worked with, or have you worked with others before?
Um, well, actually, I did. I had a little tiny role in the series Trust with Hilary Swank. But it was so brief, it really doesn't count. So Alejandro is definitely the first one, the first not non-Italian director I worked with. Yeah.
Yeah, this you have
Hopefully
this
not
great.
the last.
Yeah. Oh,
Won't be
I'm
the
sure.
last.
I'm sure it won't be either. Yeah.
Will not be.
You have this great group of young actors around you. Both the sisters and also these kids. What's it like? Kind of, did you feel at all like a matriarch? Like you were kind of like the mother of this whole band of actors?
No, no way. No, for me, being on set is very much, being equal to everybody. So I don't take up that role. I do know you have. I felt at some point a little bit the responsibility of like setting not the pace, but I felt I had to be an example sometimes, but not that I needed to be. It just felt because I was on set every day. So I needed to prove to everybody that I was a responsible person, that I was on set. Well, it comes easy to me because I love it. And I'm like that. But I also felt that, if I failed, it would be horrible. So people, I felt a little bit of pressure. Let's put it that way.
Well, let me just say, coming in halfway through the filming of this, she was a spectacular example on the set. If you can tell how by the crew how a crew interacts, and you wanting to be an equal is a really good example, and you were very successful at it, and you kept the mood really good on the set. It was a nice one to walk onto.
Thank you.
Yeah, I haven't spoken to Alejandro yet, but I'm really blown away by how him and his team like created old New York, like the 19th century New York. I mean, it's really amazing. I mean, I live in not too far from Five Points myself. But what was like as actors kind of being in that environment? I'm not sure where you actually shot it. Was a lot of it there or added later?
Well, most of it was actually a built set, so yeah, from scratch, and it was quite magnificent to walk on. It was like literally 2 blocks that they turned into the slums of New York, and yeah, it had a strong impact on me because probably in reality it was even worse, and to know that Italians, people, like from my country, were living in such conditions. It gets you closer to all the immigrants of the world. I mean, with what's happening in the Mediterranean, which is very contemporary, and it's a topic really close to my heart. I can only get closer to them in a more empathic way, even stronger empathic way to the conditions that they have to go through. So it was a strong feeling for me.
I would imagine also, I mean, when you saw the movie, the numbers of background people in it, also creating that world, and how much they embraced, their contributions to the movie, and they talked about how much it was
Important.
a really important experience for them doing this movie, and you can see it in the movie. It really adds to the whole thing.